I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Okay, here we are, smack dab in the middle of South by Southwest. Last night we saw a very interesting documentary about the legend that is Bill Murray and his wild and crazy antics. Sitting right behind me are two producers and the director of this interesting film. We want to know, what was it like making this movie? That's an interesting question to start off with.
It was fun.
So,
we can edit, right?
Yes. We're going to be editing a lot of this. So, and speaking of editing, your film is very comical. You use the cuts to make the audience laugh, and you use the camera techniques to bring out the comedy, to give it the Bill Murray spirit. So, what was it like putting all this footage together?
It was a difficult puzzle to put together. Like you have all these interviews with people who've had these stories. You have these experts. We would shoot all these other additional things, and you kind of would just shot a whole bunch of stuff and try to figure out what puzzle pieces fit and which other ones didn't, and try to have like a good, okay, here's a story, let's drop some education in there and some more stories, keep the fun going, because ultimately you want people to have a fun time.
When we set out to make the movie, it was a lot of, man, these are great stories. Man, these are really cool. Are these true? And we wanted to make sure that investigation kind of came through as we moved kind of left to right throughout the movie. But it's a movie about Bill. It's a movie about these great experiences and people kind of coming to life. And they're kind of random and fun. We wanted to make sure the movie kind of had that spirit in tow.
Because of that message, even though it's a movie about a celebrity, by the end of it, it's something totally relatable that I think everyone can get once we delve into the philosophy of everything.
So when y'all first set out to make this movie, was it like, hey, let's just go make a fun Bill Murray movie, and then it sort of turned into this almost poetic expression of his spirit? Or were you guys just like, was it just like y'all are Bill Murray fans and you just wanted to do something with Bill Murray, or were you really interested in the deep meaning of these wild and crazy stories about Bill Murray?
Well, I think we knew there was more to it, but when we started, it was more than just a fan piece. We knew there was gold down there, we just didn't know how to get to it. And the best part about it is, we were talk to certain people and they'd really get it off the bat. They'd say, we had a really crazy time with Bill and we really kind of changed us, and we kind of realized that we can kind of do more with this, and he's kind of teaching us something. And the more people we talked to, it was very interesting to kind of see how more and more people kind of had the same thing all around the world in a way where it was like, that was a wild night. And like Tommy was saying before, you ask kind of somebody to retell their story more and more, you kind of start getting it in a way that, hey, I think Bill is onto something, and I think there's something that I can be doing in my own life. That there's no celebrity to Bill that kind of makes these stories great. It's just a normal guy. And that great night you had with Bill, you could kind of have with your friends tomorrow night, and this whole train could kind of keep going.
We felt like it was a Bigfoot detective novel, So Bill Murray wasn't the Bigfoot, the stories were. So that was kind of our mantra or just plan of attack,
We saw the film last night, and I could tell that the feeling of the audience as they were leaving, it felt like a whole crowd full of Bill Murrays, Like we all had that. If it was even just for a moment, as walking out of the theater, we all felt like, maybe we should do this,
Was it the mask that we hanged out?
That too, yeah. we took those to parties later, and we were dancing around with them. We were trying to create our own fake Bill Murray stories. When did you fall in love with Bill Murray? What was the film that did it?
Ghostbusters for me. I just was a huge Ghostbusters fan.
I loved Ghostbusters as a child. I think as I got older, Scrooge is in my top 3 Christmas movies.
What's your number 1?
Die Hard.
There you go.
It's Ghostbusters, but I went to an art school, so every Wes Anderson appearance is pretty much art school 101.
Awesome. Well, my kids really like Garfield. So, you guys, I just wanted to say thanks for making such a great film. Thanks for getting these stories out there. And, you guys are now a part of the mythos of Bill Murray. And thank you, and keep on keeping on.
Thank you. So, are you Joe Blow?
No.
Hi, I'm Tommy Avalone. I make documentary movies, and in these movies, we follow around interesting characters with interesting passions, and our new movie is no different. We're making a documentary on the Bill Murray stories. What is a Bill Murray story? I'm glad you asked. Some people say it's when Bill Murray puts his hands over your eyes and says, "No one will ever believe you." Others say it's when he joins your kickball game, because we've talked to those ladies and they told us all about it. Or he jumps behind a bar and starts serving you tequila. We've talked to those people too. We've talked to a lot of people. We've been to Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, Austin, South Carolina. We've been to Europe. It's pretty cool. We've been collecting all these stories with all these people who've had these Bill Murray encounters. And there's some great stories. But I'm sure there's stories that we haven't gotten. Maybe not the most popular ones that have gone viral. Maybe there's a story where Bill Murray came to your town and ate your French fry. We want to hear about it. Send it to mystory@doublewindsorfilms.com. That's mystory@doublewindsorfilms.com. If you have a Bill Murray story where you've only maybe just told your mother and best friend, or you've put it online and it just hasn't gone viral, we want to hear about it. Do you have pictures or video? That's even better.
You got anything?
I got a video of it.
Making this movie has meant a lot to me. And the people who've had these Bill Murray stories, it means a lot to them. So we would love to include your story in our movie. So mystory@doublewindsorfilms.com. Thank you very much for your time.